Hey, and welcome back to Better Politics. This is the morning talk, and I am a little behind on getting ready because of all my internet issues. I apologize. But yeah, I do want to start with some good news. Let me get the right thing shared. Application window. I gotta look for live updates on this because this is something I was looking at when I went to bed last night. Not that one. I shared the wrong one twice in a row. Let's try that again. There we go. We had some Republicans actually team up to help the Democrats pass the extension of the ACA, the Obamacare stuff. Yeah, extend Enhanced Affordable Care Act subsidies for 3 years, which would be beautiful. It just needs to pass Senate. It's probably not going to make it through Senate because, again, Senate's majority Republican, and most Republicans are hateful people, which we're going to talk about later. Hateful and evil, and they only support those who are rich because that's all that matters, at least in their eyes. But yeah, that's cool that we got a nice blend of people to join in to get this one passed. Help people who are in need. That is the most important thing. But yeah, it passed 230 to 196. Very happy for that. Hopefully it's going to make it through Senate. I doubt it. I want to be hopeful, but there's just not much to be hopeful on with that. So thumbnail and the title of this video obviously show like, hey, I believe that Republicans are evil, and most are. Some sometimes come through and do a little bit of nice things. They go Republican or Democrat light for a moment. But the majority are just pure evil. Look at all these people who are defending the Epstein files and who said like, oh, they don't need to be released because of blah, 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 blah. That's pure evil. Look at what their policies do. They try to screw over the poor to feed the rich. And honestly, both parties do that. Democrats just tend to sometimes be a little nicer and throw us some crumbs once in a while, and do believe in having some social programs that will benefit the people. But that's not the main thing they all do. The main thing they do is simp to corporations and the wealthy because they're getting money from the side. If they're not getting money directly from them, they're using the information they have from them and their position of being in government to insider trade. And that's scummy. Like Nancy Pelosi, she was huge with that. And that's why I think she's a vile piece of shit. She also had her COVID thing where nobody's allowed to be out. Nobody's allowed to be out. Rose started rising a big stink about that. And then you see her out having her beautician, like her hair salon, open up just so she could get her hair done during COVID. You can't tell everybody, you can't do this, but I'm going to do it. You also, if you get called out on your insider trading, that's when you stop, not just double down and continue to do it and say, oh no, I don't have to because it's my position of power. Her financial advisor was a Republican. And he was the one telling her she didn't have to stop. So go figure. I mean, she's still a person of her own. She can do what she believes is right. She chose not to do the right thing. But again, that was for her to suit herself and suit the wealthy as well. Never suit you, the people. Like I said, they do sometimes throw you bones and give social programs. They're not the best developed. They don't have the biggest backbone to them. Backbones in general, Democrats, especially now, lack that. We have 2 or 3 that have a backbone. But then Hakeem Jeffries, which I kept calling Jim Jeffries yesterday, and Schumer, they're both useless, spineless bastards. Yeah, Hakeem stood in front of everybody and talked for a lot of hours. Did that do anything? Did it really do anything at all? And yet people praised him. Praised him like crazy, and he did nothing to benefit anyone. It's absurd. The ones that we do, like Jasmine Crockett, she's not in a big enough position of power. AOC, yeah, she has a lot of sway, a lot of influence on people, like the people, but she doesn't have that much power as it is. We need people like that to have power, to be able to do something. It would have been nice if Bernie was moved up and not shut down by the Democratic Party. That would have been beautiful. But with the Republicans being evil, so let's look at some examples. Trump administration freezes bills or billions in social service funding for 5 Democratic states. The reason he's doing this is because of something we talked about earlier in the week, how 2 guys wanted to go into a daycare and record kids. They don't have kids there. They have no business being there. And this daycare center was like, nah, you cannot come in. They didn't call the cops, which is a big mistake. They should have called the cops right then, because these guys are exuding pedophile vibes. Like, just 100%. They want to go into a place and film strangers' kids without those strangers being aware that their kids are about to be filmed. It's a bit creepy, but people don't think that far. They're like, oh, well, they wouldn't let them go in, so it must be a scam. And that's what the moron in chief decided to say too. And like, well, we're cutting billions in funding. Yet they're not cutting the funding to that state that it happened in. They're cutting it to California, New York, Illinois, stuff like that, places that are not where this happened. So it's a little bit weird. It's more of just like, hey, you didn't vote for me, so screw you. Because he is for the people, right? Republicans don't serve the country. They serve to destroy the needy families, the ones who need help. The American people. Oh, yeah, and they're still trying to do this take down Letitia James. And luckily, the judge says Trump's acting U.S. attorney investigating James is serving unlawfully, because they're just trying to rig a case against her to take her down because she had proof to take him down. Called out on his multiple crimes. Yeah, it looks like Trump is running a private equity playbook in Venezuela. Absolutely. That's why he was talking to the oil chains before any of this happened. And Republicans support this. Republicans don't fight against what he did there. They highly approve of it. They are basically getting off on it in front of camera. And it's disgusting. They're getting off on that ICE agent that decided to off Miss Good the other day. Because, oh, he was doing his American duty. No, he wasn't. He's a murderer. He's a piece of shit scumbag and a murderer. Part of a terrorist cell. Nothing's good about that. Nothing is good about that. I don't know why I had this one up. Oh, yeah. Senate advances measure to curb Trump's use of force in Venezuela. That would be nice if this goes through. But we're going to have a bunch of Republicans fight against it. Yeah, we have 5 Republicans joining Democrats. We still have a majority of Democrats or of Republicans that are just saying, nope, nope, nope. Let them kill them all. Let them keep being a terrorist. Because we're not just have a terrorist cell in the U.S. We're now a terrorist country terrorizing other countries with his threats of violence to use military to take over Greenland, a peaceful NATO ally. That's the kind of shit we're dealing with here. We have a terrorist president by every definition of the word. All he does is inflict terror upon either other countries or the U.S. citizens. Just people, civilians living in this country. He is a terrorist. He is a criminal convicted of multiple crimes. And Republicans support this. He's a known pedophile. And Republicans support this. I'm waiting for the day that they start wearing shirts. Being a pedophile is okay with me because he did it. Like it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. There were people who were wearing the shirts to support Trump saying real men wear diapers when they started to realize, oh, their president and queef shits himself all the time. Because he's not the physical specimen, like the specimen of perfect health. Like his doctors like to lie and say he is, because he has his doctors lie and say this shit. We all know he's mentally unwell. I mean, he's being forced to take cognitive tests all the time. That's a sign that they understand, oh, he's not all there. Yet his followers just keep saying, nope, because he's acing them. That means he's smart. You guys are dumb. Dumb as bricks. Dude's mentally unwell. And he's wreaking havoc upon the country, destroying what this country was founded on. Let's let it happen. And the Republicans in power, they're getting paid. They're getting paid by the companies too that are helping them screw over everybody else. Let's let it happen. And then about Greenland, the Trump administration plots six-figure offer to Greenlanders to convince them to join the U.S. So he's trying to do everything he can to spend the country's money, our tax dollars, to bankrupt us as fast as humanly possible. This attack that he did on Venezuela, given whether it was a plot or like a plan between the two of them or not, used a ton of tax money and ended people's lives. This is going to use a ton of tax money which we don't really have. He likes to say, oh, America's doing better than ever because we have this high GDP. We don't have that high GDP growth. We don't have a 4% something or 4 point something percent. There was no way it could happen. Everything else that relates to what makes a GDP was down. So magically, everything's down, but GDP went up. It's impossible. It's impossible. It's another lie by Trump, which means our country's probably already in a recession and we just don't know it. Well, I mean, most of us know it. We can see it, but we're not going to be able to actually get that confirmation until the liar gets called out, because he's having his people just fix the books. They said earlier in the administration, like basically right away, like, hey, we're going to be calculating GDP a different way than normal. You know how you normally do it to where it makes sense? Well, we're just going to make up shit. And that's what they're doing. This is proof of it, because Republicans tank the economy every fucking time they're in office. And that's exactly what's happened here. He tanked the economy. This is money we don't really have that he's going to spend. And it's going to tank it even further. Completely bankrupt it. And by then, he's done. And he's also going to blame Biden for it. Oh, no, this was Biden. Biden did this 5 years after the fact. Like, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It's just screwing us over as fast as humanly possible. And I don't know what to do about it. As we were talking about in the Discord, kind of people got to rise up. Everybody's got to unite. There's a big pulling in Minnesota right now, in Minneapolis, around, oh God, I should have pulled up this video. So outside of the ICE detention facility in Minneapolis, there was a display put up, like candles on the ground, and Renee Good's name written out there, and it was like a little memorial thing. Some douchebag ICE agent walks over, stomping on the candles and getting in protesters' face. What the fuck you gonna do about it? More proof they're not on the side of the law. They're evil, vindictive douchebags. They are Nazis. They are pieces of shit. And it's got to be stopped. They need to be put down. Like, they are terrorists. They are a terrorist cell. And our Democrats need to get up and actually do more about this. They're not completely powerless. They're not. They like to say they are, but they're not. Chuck Schumer is spineless. That's for damn sure. He's not the right person to have as minority or Senate minority speaker. or whatever his position is, leader, that's what it is, Senate Minority Leader. I would get someone who has, a backbone, balls, a voice, and isn't just going to write strongly worded letters that go fucking nowhere. You're writing strongly worded letters to Trump, who can't fucking read. Dude's not smart enough to know how to read. I mean, I guess he did know how to read Mein Kampf because that was his favorite book. Because he's a Nazi. Like, he idolizes Nazis and dictators. So he knows how to read their stuff. But that's about it. Let's all remember, this is the same guy who they basically have to write their notes to him, like his administration has to write notes to him, like he's a fucking toddler because he can't understand things. He's not smart. He's not intelligent. I don't know why his followers believe he's smart and that he knows what the fuck he's doing, because he clearly doesn't. Everything he does is wrong. Or he just looks at what's the most illegal way I can do this, because he's great at breaking the law. He broke the law with the Maduro thing. That was a crime of aggression. We had no business being over there. We illegally kidnapped another leader. And you could say, oh, but he was illegal. He broke law. He broke U.S. law. But where was he? Was he in the fucking U.S. when he did this? Did we have any business going the fuck over there? When George H.W. Bush went over to... where the hell was it at? I was going to say Panama, but that's not it. They did a strike back in the 80s, an attack just like this, and kidnapped a leader. And we actually did the Venezuela thing on the exact anniversary of that one, like same day and everything, which is wild as shit. But yeah, we had no business doing that then. It's and the people that support him, his followers, like Lindsey Graham and shit, pure evil. If you're supporting the actions of a terrorist pedophile, your soul, your heart is black. You're an evil piece of shit. And yeah, I'm not defending Nicolas Maduro, scumbag as well. But you have to be vile to support Trump's actions. To be happy about what he's doing, you are a soulless bastard. If you believe in heaven, you're fucking not going there. You are leading the wrong life. Sorry to tell you that. And Democrats, the fact that they don't do shit when they do have some power, they just choose not to do anything. We have mayors. It's usually smaller people who are doing shit. Governors and mayors. They're the ones who actually stand up and do shit. But yet not our Congress, not our senators. They don't do shit. They talk big on camera, and then half of them end up voting for fucking Trump's policies anyways. Look at what happened with the fucking when the government shut down. In the end, a bunch of Democrats came out and they're like, oh, yep, now we're going to bow down to dear leader. I mean, given John Fetterman was one of them, he's a scumbag piece of shit. Basically, he came out acting like he was very left and all this shit. That's what he campaigned on. And then he had his stroke. And apparently his stroke changed him to where he was like, nope, I'm actually a far-right neo-Nazi. I get off on the fact that Israel is bombing innocent people, drone striking them over and over and over and over and over, finding their hospitals where they're being healed at and bombing the shit out of them, and then staging it to look like, oh yeah, there is military here. There wasn't. You staged that. You bombed innocent people because you're fucking evil. Yep. Yeah, so really, there's evil on both sides. Because, I mean, we have being ineffectual and useless, not doing shit when you should, like the Democrats have been doing with most of everything Trump's done, makes them just as evil. By not stopping this shit, not putting your fucking foot down, not doing what you can to get these people fucking removed and arrested. You guys were working with the Epstein estate, so you could have got these documents. You could have got them unredacted. But you know what you fucking did? Nothing. You released a couple. then you stopped. And now you're just accepting the fact that we're getting these fucking super redacted documents. The people who are listed in there need to go to jail. If there's proof that you did something in those documents, you need to go to jail. If you just met with the bastard for some financing, you never have it. There's no proof that you did anything. Like, I'm just pulling someone out for example. I don't know if they actually did anything or not, but I know Chris Tucker was brought up in this shit. So let's say Chris Tucker met with Epstein for some fucking weird reason, and it was just to like talk about funding because Epstein was a financer. And let's say that's all that happened. Then obviously, in this situation, Chris Tucker didn't do anything. He met for one reason, had nothing to do with kids. Now, if Chris Tucker knew about the kids, I liked his movies. I liked Rush Hour. I liked fucking Friday. But he's going to need to go to jail. If there's any proof he did something along with Epstein's extracurricular activities. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Democrats could have stopped this a long time ago, and they chose not to. Chose to just let it roll. Let it roll on. There was a time when Obama and Biden both controlled the entire government, same way Trump does right now. And you know what they did? They threw us crumbs. They had the ability at that moment to completely reshape the fucking country. And that would have led to a Republican never getting fucking voted in again. But they chose not to. Just remember that. Every time someone complains about the Democrats and you want to get mad at them for complaining about the Democrats, remember that. There are times where Democrats have completely owned the government, just like Trump does now, owning the White House, the House, and the Senate. And they chose to do the smallest little bit. They threw you crumbs. They could have reshaped the world. They could have given us all the benefits that we need. Basically led us to being in a better place than we'd ever been. And they chose not to. They directly chose to only do the littlest bit. That's why me and Hawk get so pissed off at them. Because they throw us crumbs and they act like we should bow down to them. That we should praise them, be happy that they threw us crumbs and did nothing else. And that's where we're at. They could have reshaped the world. Made it to where a Republican never gets in any fucking office again. Because people would be like, oh, wow, the Democrats are the good guys. They actually helped. But nope. Let's not do that because we need to be nice to the Republicans and let them take over the fucking country and put all the civilians in this country through literal fucking hell. Increase costs of everything. Make sure that we don't get raises. Because I know majority of people, it's not being talked about, majority of people did not get a fucking raise. Majority of the country did not get a fucking raise this year. Imagine that. Anyways, that was our Friday show of Talk Better Politics Morning Talk. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for listening to me ramble. And yeah, I wish you the best of luck, and I will see you on Monday. Let's hope nothing else happens between now and then. Let's not let Trump go attack another country. Anywho, you take care.